variety, I think it's called my variety playlist, is that I've always been interested in supernatural and all that sort of stuff. Growing up, I've always been interested in it, but didn't dabble in all of the things that you hear the stories about, like the Ouija board and stuff like that. Um, and so I was always interested, read about it, but the part that stuck with me that is my own experience of that I do know that uh, ancestors, I don't I'll call them spirit guides or whatever it is, I have always been contacted in my sleep. So the reason I'm bringing that up is I'm always drawn to these shows. I was always so fearful of the Exorcist movie, and like for years. And so, especially with Reagan's face and the spinning around, right, and the walking on the hands and all that stuff, and probably the fascination, right, is like trying to prove, like, does this really exist? And you hear all these different stories, and back then it still wasn't like, oh, hey, say 6 months ago, my daughter was possessed. And so I keep being drawn to these shows, and it is very dark. So I'm like, what more do I need to know, right? I already know things that exist. And as far as being contacted in my sleep, just to let you know, I have had things, and it's never like a negative presence or energy thing. Well, there probably is in the history of like 23 years, um, and a little bit of sleep paralysis, but definitely things, something blue in my face, like to wake me up. And still to this day, right? Which there's probably things going on. Um, in the spiritual realm, right? That I don't even know because I don't have any memories. I haven't done this astral projection. I haven't explored all of that, right? And my background is also Native Cherokee, and I'm really drawn to shamanic, like anything shamanic stuff, and Native. And then my tie doesn't really like come out in any like specific thing, except my amulets, which I feel like I get power from. Okay, so I've had things like walk on me, like it feels like a cat, on the blanket, on my chest. Um, what else? Not really like talking, nothing like that. And really, the message after all of these years, I feel like it's just been like to show me like they're with me, whoever it is. And I don't have visions. I'm not one of those people, like, not my stuff. That's not me. Most of my creating is from my own intuitive, people might want to call it channeling. I studied and explored a lot of these sorts of things to compare, like, okay, that person, clairvoyant, so we're all psychically intuitive on some sort of level. We may not even realize it, right? Basic like life examples, like, think of somebody and they text you or they call you, whatever it is, right? Okay, so, but there's some things I can't relate to, and also these skills can be developed, but I never did. I would love to develop my chi more and working with my energy. Not that I need to bend pans or anything like that. Okay, going back to, even though that'd be kick-ass to do that.